that I can see that you are well-intentioned and that you want to do the right thing and, make everybody happy.
So hang on a sec. That's not what. So what touched me about? So as you were listening to his story, what was the bit that kind of emotionally impacted you?
Um, the part that touched me about your story, um, is hearing how alone and isolated you were as a young child.
When I heard that, I thought,
When I heard that, I felt devastated for you, pissed at your parents.
how I want you to feel in our relationship.
How I want you to feel in our relationship is safe to be able to make mistakes, and that if it's the wrong thing or you mess up, that we'll figure it out together. Um, and I want you to feel like when you make a decision and you show up to support me, that I know that you're well intentioned. I know that you love and care about me. And I never think that, you know, you're, um, I never, um, I love you and I care about you.
Sally, can I give you a steer?
Yes, please.
So if you're thinking about the Jack as a 5-year-old in the room, um, just kind of sitting there and caught between, like I'm feeling lonely. I want to get connection, but the fear that if I go and reach out for connection with mum, that I'm not going to get welcomed. That, she's going to push me away. It's going to be bad, and so like I'm trying to be a good boy and not have needs, but I've still got these needs, and so kind of being pulled between them. Can you hear what the fundamental need of the kid is?
Connection.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, and in particular, it's about that thing about being welcomed. So the right or wrong is a little bit of a red herring. So it's a way that he can distract himself cognitively because the overwhelming feeling he's experiencing is rejection. Mum doesn't love me. She doesn't care about me. Oh, no, no, and so he's distracting himself cognitively. He's using anxiety to help get away from these overwhelming visceral feelings of rejection and abandonment. Okay. And so it's like, oh, if I do this, is it right, is it wrong? And so he's overthinking, but by overthinking, he moves himself out of his emotion. Okay. But the primary need that he's having is to feel welcomed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you think about your dynamic, when you get overwhelmed, you're going to want to sort of run, you'll still face, you'll dissociate, you'll kind of move away. And so when you're approaching in stress, you're often going to approach with a bit of a still face thing. So then he's like, fuck, like I'm going to get this wrong or whatever. But his sense is, and often if he's trying to approach you, that can feel really overwhelming or threatening for you. So you're actually pushing him away as well. So he doesn't get that feeling of being welcomed.
Okay.
Yeah. So he'll cope with that with obsessing about being right or wrong, but the need underneath it is about being welcomed.
Okay.
Yeah. So my so just check out. Did that sound right?
That sound right?
Yeah,
That's exactly it.
perfect aim. Yeah,
What
wow.
what resonated for you?
Uh,
You're right.
what,
Is
what,
she asking me?
resonated for you.
What resonates for you?
Oh, wow.
You just kind of blew our minds a little bit. We're just settling. Like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that was very like,
Cool.
that was cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, everything, everything. Because I I always want to be helpful in those situations. I want to show up 100% of the time. Um, but I I I do I obviously get stuck in those situations of, oh fuck, am I like, what if I show up with a meal you don't want to eat? What if I'm 10 minutes late and you want me to be home at exactly this time? What if so sometimes when you have maybe a more when you are feeling more withdrawn because of the fact that you're feeling like you can't advocate yourself, you're flat, you kind of come off with a more flat affect in that, and then that triggers for me that you're not
The rejection.
yeah, exactly the rejection. um,
And then I'm like, oh, he doesn't care because he's not doing anything or asking for help.
and so you're unintentionally reinforcing that by being like, so it's both our faults.
No, it's our parents' fault. But our responsibility to become relationship champions.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's exactly it. Like all of our conflict is that you're feeling rejected and not welcome, and I'm feeling abandoned and unlovable.
Yeah.
And then we're both just sad and alone.
Yeah, and it creates a lot of emotional, like unintentionally creates a lot of emotional distance
Yeah.
between us.